your skills to make some extra money if possible. Say you're a handy person or you have typing skills, and at that point you're not working. So go on his list, do something on eBay or what have you, but advertise yourself. You want to make a little extra money here and there. Try for what you want to do into reducing the spending, pay in cash, freeze your credit cards. Remember, credit cards, people get in trouble with it. I know this is the first week for a lot of the colleges out there, and it used to be, and I don't think they do it anymore. I could be really wrong, but the credit card companies would come in the first of the week during any semester and target freshmen to get a credit card. And then what would happen with a freshman? Well, the freshman would go in there and use this credit card, and they would give them ample credit lines. They'd give you like $1,000, $1,500, whatever it is. Now here's a freshman that might not have a job that now has a $1,500 credit line, and they're buying pizzas and they're buying stuff, radios, whatever it is, the MP3 players. They're buying all this stuff, but they can't pay it back. So remember, we do that as well. We go into panic mode. So you want to try to pay in cash. If you can't pay in cash, you might not need it, okay? Make sure you eat at home. Cooking at home is a lot cheaper than going out all the time. Try not to shop for fun. I know this will kill some family friends and patients of mine, but retail therapy during a layoff period, probably not the best thing. Cut back on the entertainment, do more things at home. I think you pay $7.99 a month for Netflix versus going out and watching a movie. My daughter and I went out to see Despicable Me 2. Oh, if you haven't seen that movie, oh my God, funny as all anything. Absolutely loved it. We ended up going to a matinee, and her and I going in just at the matinee, getting a large thing of popcorn. I got a bottled water. She got a small soda. It was still over $30 for the two of us. It was crazy. It was crazy. So you cut back on the entertainment and try to do more things around the house or do things that aren't going to cost any money. And remember, something very simple you can do at the home. Try to reduce your utility bills. Turn off the lights. Make sure that temperatures are set at the right ways. You want to do things so that you're not running out quickly. Some simple food for thought here. Consider a new occupation. You might be working on a job for a long time, but maybe this is a chance, that layoff, that burnout, whatever it is, to consider a new occupation. Think about what your dream job is. What do you want to do? Take a career test. I'll be uploading on DennisKerridan.com. I have two little career tests, little inventory tests that you could do and do some self-scoring. I'll have those up hopefully within the next couple of days. Go there, take the career test, see what you're eligible to do, or see what your interests lie, where your interests lie. Learn about the occupations that interest you. Maybe there's things out there that you've thought about for a long time, but you really haven't explored it. So you want to go in and actually start exploring them a little bit. There are three types of people that hiring managers want to avoid during this time, okay? Those who cannot learn the job, those who will not do the work, and those who are not cooperative. What you want to do with this job or this occupation is show that the hiring managers that you're not one of those three people. We're talking about exploring a new occupation. We're talking about looking beyond that. You can get the job you want, but you got to know that you don't want to be a person that can't learn the job, that you don't do the work, and you're not cooperative. You got to change yourself up a little bit. Show that you can learn the job kind of quickly. Find out your duties and requirements for the job. If you're interviewing something, go online, Google or rock a wiki on something, and give that example from your past when you performed each requirement. Show that hiring manager that you could do it. Show that you will do the work. Just because someone could do the job doesn't mean they will do the work. Add details to each of your examples, turning them into accomplishments, showing people that you are a doer, that you can get out there and do things. You want to make sure that you show them that you're cooperative. Check yourself. Do you have a good attitude? Are you easy to coach? Do you have good people skills? All those things are going to ensure that the hiring manager is at least going to look at you. One of the things that I get a lot, and when I look at a career cache, and it happens in industry around here. I know when maybe the hospitals are downsizing, or even when certain companies are going under, we'll get mailed or emailed a resume, or even faxed over a resume. You need a resume out of all this. And a lot of people that have had careers or jobs for a long while won't have those ready. If you're looking for a job, you need a resume. Sometimes if your education matters more, you need what's called curriculum vitae. Your resume is your calling card, your advertisement, it's your brochure. It's even your flyer. It's a one-page handout that shows what a great catch you are. It's your chance to toot your own horn at that point. And a curriculum vitae, I think mine now is up to 15 pages long. That's a way to show all your awards and accomplishments and certifications and licensures. A friend of mine has a 35-page CV. These are things that you are there to say, look at me. This is your time to shine, and a resume will do that for you. What do you do with your resume? Well, the idea is to get your resume into the hands of the hiring managers. Mail it, email it, hand it out, ask friends to give it to their hiring managers and what have you. A friend of mine recently, his wife, well, they're both my friends, so I don't want to say it, but his wife, who's a nurse, had asked me, is there anything I could do? Can you hand me out any emails, or can you hand out any of my resumes? I asked her to email it to me, and I ended up hand delivering it to a couple of hospitals for her. Not an issue for me. It was something that I was going to do anyway. And here's the deal: she got some phone calls. She got some really nice possibilities right now. She applied. I handed it out. It got into the right hands. I think that's a cool thing to do for somebody. So make sure that you're asking everybody and anybody to hand out that resume for you. Simple resumes. If you're looking at just getting into the job world again, do a simple resume. Most of them are going to include a heading, the job objective, your education, work experiences, and accomplishments. Normally, it could fit on one page. Okay, and that's all you have to do. The basic to it is that resume should get you an interview, and that's what you want to do. If you want to get something, get that resume made up, and you want to get an interview. Once you get an interview, that's kind of the way you're going to get this set up. You're going to get something rolling once you have an interview. I've always said, give me a chance to talk, and I'm going to get that job from you. Okay, so I wrote down 6 ways to get a job interview. I kind of jotted some stuff down. The rule of thumb says that you will interview with about 5 different companies to get one job offer. But what if one job offer isn't something you want? The smart thing to do is to set up more interviews than you'll actually need. That way you'll have choices. You want to set up multiple interviews so that you might have 5 or 6 new job offers, and you can pick and choose. One simple method of getting that interview: talk to your friends and relatives. Talking to friends and relatives is the easiest way to get a job interview. Well, if you don't have lots of friends or relatives, practice using the script in a book, or go to Google and type in script for interview. You want to be able to talk to people to get comfortable with it. Send a letter and ask for an interview. Suppose you want to work for a bank. How do you get an interview if you don't know anyone there? Who should you address your letter to? What should you write in your letter? Practice using a script that you find on the web. Okay, remember, part of this is about just getting in there and asking for that interview. Okay? If you don't know anybody there, make a phone call. Send that letter, write some things out. Okay? Use the telephone to ask for an interview. The telephone may be scary, but it's really effective. How do people handle their fears? Well, you role play. I know it sounds silly, but maybe you call a friend or relative and you just ask them to interview you. Again, go on Google and just type in role play for interviewing. Something's going to come up. Answer the help wanted advertisement. There's no guesswork in help wanted advertisements. Respond quickly so you won't be at the bottom of the pile. Sometimes if they leave their address there, not only should you go ahead and respond to it, but maybe you stop by the business and hand them one of your resumes. You have to work the internet. Okay, job hunting on the internet is easy. It's pretty fun sometimes. You can check things out. I've gone on there just to see what I would do in my in my afterlife, and it's free most of the times. You don't have to sign up, or you'll have to sign up, but it doesn't cost most of the time. I know that LinkedIn that I use, LinkedIn is actually free. You can upgrade it, but LinkedIn for the most part is free. It's a great place to look for jobs. 53% of all hires come from a company's own website. 23% of the internet hires gets jobs through job sites. So 53% of all hires come from a company's own website. So if you have a company in mind, go to their website, see what they have, and try to go from there. Another step, you could register with an employment agency. What is it? An employment agency might be temp, whatever. They specialize. Some are in executive sales, some clerical. You want to call and introduce yourself. You look for the agency in the area. You might ask friends and relatives. Check on the internet again. Go Google. The biggest thing that I tell people, and this is huge, enthusiasm. That's the key to a great interview. Hiring managers agree enthusiasm separates the winners from the losers. It can be more important than experience. Think about it. If you're enthusiastic and motivated and you really want that job and you're not coming across as pathetic and desperate, a manager is going to look at you and say, oh, yeah, come on aboard, because they're looking for that enthusiasm. Okay, so how do you show it? Be extra courteous. Have a good sense of humor. Offer a professional greeting. Show respect for the manager's position. Show that you are curious about the job. You want to put the positive thought that I can do this, and participate in the conversation and be a storyteller. Talk about experiences in your life. How do you ace that job interview? Managers tend to be expert interviewers. They know that you're going to be nervous. So to help you relax and feel comfortable, they'll conduct the interview as if it were casual, informal, friendly conversation. But remember, you have to expect certain things during a job interview. What's the first question the manager will ask? What's the manager looking for? The manager will try to psych you out, so you need to sell yourself. Think again. You might go on the web, ask other people, what are those first questions that a manager asks? I've had people, tell me that they've asked questions like, so if you were to live anywhere in the world, where would you want to live, and what would be the reasons that you want to live there? And that takes you way out of your comfort zone. Or they ask you something like, what drives you? Tell me about what makes you you. Remember, they're going to try to psych you out because they want to try to trip you up a little bit, but you need to sell yourself. So whatever they ask, take a deep breath, think about it for 2 seconds, and give the answer. When the interview's over, you want to get home, you want to send a thank you note. 2 days later, send a special letter to them. And a week after the interview, give the manager a call. Don't be, all in their face or anything like that, but you just send a little thank you note. Thank you for your interview. Thank you for the interview. I enjoyed it. 2 days later, you send a little special letter. Letter could be real simple. It's something like, I really enjoyed our conversation. I am looking forward to the possibilities of working for your company, what have you. Just send it to them and then give a call. Hey, it's been a week, just wanted to see where we are with this. Okay? Couple of things. Remember, you're starting over. So, simple tips for starting over. You get that job. You go in there. You're ready to begin something. One, show that you're friendly. Get in there and don't be a curmudgeon. Get in there and be very, very friendly. Be flexible about things. At the beginning, people tend to be rigid and reserved. You want to be a little bit more flexible. You want to show initiative to people. Show that you can be counted on. Obey the rules. Remember, that's the big thing here. They just gave you a shot. They gave you an opportunity when you get this job, so you want to obey those rules. And you want to try to solve your own problems. I've seen this before, where people will go to the manager or the supervisor or whatever and just constantly have problems and this and this and this and this. It's okay to ask, but remember, you want to seek out solutions before you just constantly ask. People are going to think you just don't know what to do. So how do we turn this crash into a victory? Okay, we're winding down here, and I want to turn this around a little bit. We've talked about that crash, how to get out there,